Join us on a tour of BioScision Labs in Highway 59.
Come on. And so this is basically where BioScision Pharma. So we do compliance tests for the industry. So people grow weed, they send it to us. We basically test it to make sure that it's free of any kind of nasties like bacteria or metals or pesticides. And then we give them a certificate of analysis, and it says your weed is good and clean and ready for human consumption. So that's what we do in this lab right here. So we can do a quick look through this lab. I'll show you all the machines that you do to detect potency and pesticides and all that kind of stuff.
This is so crazy.
Come on in.
Thank you.
So this is the compliance lab. This is BioScision Labs. This is where we can test from all over Canada. And we can submit a sample if you go to BioScisionLabs.com, and it shows you exactly how to submit a sample. So sometimes people just, for their own interest, want to submit a sample and find out what their potency is. If you're like an ACMPR grower or something like that, just for bragging rights, or in your community, just to check your weed once in a while is good too, because a lot of bottled nutrients will actually have heavy metals in them, even though you're not purposely using it. Sometimes they're in there. So this bench is dedicated to testing pesticides. We test 96 pesticides with this one. So it's 96 pesticides that are on the shit list. And we make sure that it's pesticide free for all the cannabis that goes through here.
Okay.
This is a potency analyzer. So on your weed you check your label, you got your THC percentage, CBD percentage. This is what determines that. You're basically looking at cannabis and running through the machine. And this actually works overnight, so we load it to the samples all day, hit play, and then there's a robot that basically picks up the little vials and moves them over, and this runs all night, and then you come in the morning and you have all your data, so it's super convenient. Super convenient.
That's amazing.
This is what everyone has in their basement, a laser diffraction particle size analyzer.
Say that again?
Laser diffraction particle size analyzer.
I love the name.
Yes. It uses lasers and it shines through a sample, and it tells you how small the particles are in that sample. Why do we have this? We produce a cannabis nano-emulsion, and then we dry it into a powder, and then we mix that and we make different powdered beverage mixes. So we're actually just finishing on some CBD chai latte, a caramel hot chocolate, 5 milligrams of THC, and a caffeine mocha, which is 5 milligrams of THC too. So we mix it all in together. So why do we have this? Because we want to produce extremely small particles, because the smaller the particle, the better absorption. So it's more quicker when you consume the beverage. It doesn't take like an hour, 2 hours for it to basically kick in. It kicks in after kind of a 25-30-minute time point. So it's really more conducive to consuming cannabis orally or by a drink. And they taste amazing too. So.
Awesome.
Come on.
What's up? Hey Ethan, what's up? Kendra, Bloodshot, Ethan Shorts. Ethan Shorts goes cough if you're in danger.
We've already been through that. I think we're safe.
That's so great. Steve French says,
oh my God.
I have all of that equipment at my house. Right?
Oh my goodness.
So this isn't your average scale you pick up at the head shop. This is a 4-point scale, so it can measure to 1/10 of 1 milligram.
And their names?
Cheech and Chong.
Their name Cheech and Chong.
So one way we keep track of all our equipment, rather than calling it that left scale at the back or the right scale, we give them proper names.
That's
Cheech,
awesome.
Chong. For our incubators, we've got Snoop, Martha, and Willie.
That's amazing.
And then Tally, obviously, is Tally.
It's the little things, you know?
That's crazy.
This is a metal analyzer, so this is where we look at lead, cadmium, arsenic, and mercury. again, to make sure that there's none of those heavy metals found in your cannabis.
Wow.
Yeah, don't want any of that.
Bill Nye the Science Guy weed magician.
Could you imagine working here? It'd be so
This is your
fun.
classic incubator right here. So we do total yeast and mold. So it's kind of your classic petri dishes. And if anything grows on there, we count how many nasties are growing on there, and we determine if it's over or under the limit. So that's yeast and mold in this one. It's at 28 degrees Celsius because that's the best temperature for yeast and mold to grow. Then we got a bacteria incubator. So this is all looking for different types of bacteria that are not supposed to be on cannabis. And that is at 37 degrees because that's where bacteria grows best at.
I remember doing something like that.
Petri dish stuff in class,
You had to go to Roger school and like swab things.
It's the same deal. You just take weed, you put it in a bag, you kind of mush it with a liquid, and then you put that liquid right onto the dish, and then it grows. You just see how much bacteria is in it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And this is a salmonella incubator. So this is a 42 degree incubator because that's the best temperature that salmonella grows at. And that's something that you don't want on cannabis. And
no, definitely not.
You rarely find it, so that's good.
That's good.
Ethan says, it's cool to see behind the scenes. Thanks, girls.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Brent Guppy.
Brent Guppy.
Oh, look at this thing's moving.
Yes, so here's exactly what I just said with the cannabis. So you got to put it into that bag, you got to put a little bit of juice in there, and then you grow this for 37 degrees. And then in the morning, they're going to take a little bit of that juice and squirt it onto those petri dishes.
Crazy.
So awesome.
Yeah, so you're literally determining how much bacteria is on the bud itself.
Wow.
You guys named him Jimmy?
This thing is so
Jimmy.
cool.
Jay is here too.
Jay, oh.
And a silent Bob.
Where's,
I don't know
where's Bob?
He's around here.
Woody? The
Woody,
fridge
yeah.
is Woody. That's amazing.
This is a terpene analyzer. So this, you can actually see it kind of burning in there, a little flame. What it does is it put a little bit of weed in here. It's kind of like almost like a volcano bag or like a desktop vaporizer. You put a little bit of weed in there. This robot arm picks this vial up, puts it in the air. This thing heats up pretty hot, and then all the terpenes that are trapped in the cannabis actually get turned into gas, and they get collected in this gas-type vial. And then a needle comes down, sucks up the air from the top of that vial, and then runs it through the machine, and that air has the terpenes in it. And as it's going through the machine, the terpenes are separating into purified packets, and then those packages are being burnt by this detector, and then depending on how bright that flame goes when it burns, it can tell you how much terpenes are there and what terpenes are there.
Crazy.
So another thing that ACMPR growers like to do, because you want to make sure that you're growing nice terpene weed and of high potency. So a lot of times they'll get potency and terpene tests. So,
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's fun.
so that's pretty much it for the analytical lab. A little over 2 years now. And BioScision was for 3 years now. Yeah. This building was built, I believe, in the early 2000s. So, and that's for Kenji, the pharmaceutical manufacturer.
We decided all the colors.
We're getting this painted. Like literally this week.
What, you don't like it?
The painter's coming tomorrow. That was a very timely
I was just wondering.
Very, very timely.
Somebody actually sat back. They're like, yeah, please go.
You can see some of our packaging. So I'll show you the hydrocarbon extractor next, but we're going to be making mid-November, we're going to start making shatter, diamonds and terp sauce and live resin.
Nice.
So we're going to come out with a whole whack of concentrates in the next 3 months. Super excited about that.
For sure.
And this is just seeing some of the packaging that some of those concentrates are going to go in. So like your 5 ml glass jars or 9 ml glass jars. And we got nice branded lids to go on as well.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, we're pumped.
Oh, this thing looks crazy fun.
Yeah, I'll show you the ethanol extractor.
What is this?
And then I'll show you the hydrocarbon extractor.
Looks like
Okay.
we're using
So
Star Wars.
This are huge R2D2s.
Yes, totally.
Now, we're renovating right now, so these aren't set up, but I'll kind of explain how they work. Typically, there's 3 tanks that are right next to each other, so I'll show you. This is tank 1, tank 2 is right there, and tank 3 is across the hall. But you can just imagine that they're all kind of smashed together and hung together.
That's amazing.
This holds 165 gallons of ethanol, of basically 100% vodka. And what it does is there's this jacket around this tank, and there's cooling fluid that's pumped through here. So it freezes the tank, and it reduces the temperature of the ethanol to -80 Celsius. The reason you want cold ethanol and cold solvent is it's more selective for cannabinoids and terpenes, and it's non-selective for other contaminants like plant waxes and plant fats and chlorophyll and stuff you just don't want in your extract. So that's the whole idea of freezing these tanks to -80 and using super cold ethanol to do the extraction step. The extraction step is this one.
Like, there's, yeah.
So using science to make better weed.
This is like Big Bertha, yeah.
I like science to make better weed.
Totally.
Yeah.
So this is now the extraction tank. So this is like a glorified washing machine. You take 30 pounds of weed and you put it into this tea bag, zip it shut. This door comes out. You shove this bag of weed up in there and press the button. Door comes up, and then this is in there with 30 pounds of weed. And a bunch of ethanol, cold, super cold ethanol, floods in here, and then it basically shakes it up. And it's like removing the cannabinoids and terpenes from the bud and going into the solution, the ethanol solution. So now, and then at the end, this thing comes out, and it basically goes into a centrifuge to get all the other liquid out, and then this gets tossed because there's nothing left in it, basically.
Yeah.
But then you have to get now the solvent out, and you want to keep the cannabinoids, you want to keep the terpenes. So that's what this unit's for. This is just a holding tank. That's the 3rd tank. So once you're done the washing machine step, you go in here, and now you have ethanol, cannabinoids, and terpenes, and you want to get the ethanol out. You use a still. This is a very special still. Sorry.
It just scared me. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
This is a white film still. So this basically distills out the ethanol, and it keeps the cannabinoids and terpenes inside. The way this works is there's a very thin kind of wiper on the inside that's spinning around, and it sprays a really thin film of that ethanol cannabis solution on the inside of this column. This column's heated, so the ethanol, which boils at, this is a question, take a stab.
How much ethanol?
A little under 80 Celsius, so basically goes into a vapor, goes into a condenser, and it turns back into a liquid.
Okay.
The cannabinoids and terpenes have a much, much higher boiling point, so they don't vaporize. They actually just kind of fall and get collected in this bottom. And you basically have your soft serve cannabis crude oil coming out of the bottom.
That's awesome. It's a Dairy Queen.
Yeah. It's a good Dairy Queen. So
that's awesome.
We use this, the intended use of this machine is to produce basically distillate. So a crude oil comes out there, you can't really sell it, it's pretty dark, it's a crude oil. So the usefulness of this machine is the throughput. You can process a lot of cannabis very quickly, and you can get a lot of crude oil. That crude oil still has to go through distillation, which is another step that is more like refining and distilling the oil and getting it more pure, basically. So really good for throughput, really good for producing distillate, and that's distillate that goes into our carts, but not, a craft product is more like BHO or butane hash oil extraction. So that's where you get your shatter, your diamonds and tartar sauce, all that kind of stuff, live resin.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that machine next.
Nice.
Okay.
Going in and out here with a connection.
It's not,
Oh.
it's kind of It's kind of a vault like area in here, so I'm not
So we might lose connection.
yeah, but I think it's going to be okay in here though.
Yeah, we're in like some soft shit right now.
This is like a Dexter room.
Don't open the freezer. Please.
Bang. I was
Not
like,
open the freezer.
are there?
It's the last tour.
This is a cool room. This is a really, really cool engineered room. So this is for hazardous material handling. So butane is not only flammable, but it's explosive. So you have to be in a really special environment in case there is an accidental release of butane. It's like your barbecue tank, right? Imagine your entire barbecue tank emptying in a matter of 5 or 6 seconds. It's super dangerous.
Yes.
But, and that's of course why we have this type of room.
Okay.
So this is called a Class 1 Division 1 cabinet. This is basically a explosion-proof cabinet that sucks all of the air out of this cabinet. So if you're doing any dangerous work, you can do it inside this cabinet, and it basically removes any kind of like fumes or vapors that could be explosive or flammable. So that's how we got that one. This
So
floor.
would that be like a good like end of the world shelter? So it's like explosion proof?
No, I mean it's more like it's not protecting you from explosions from outside, but it's protecting you from blowing yourself up.
There you go. Okay.
So kind of.
Yeah.
To you it would be the end of the world.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
This room is special too. This is an anti-static floor, so there's a big copper plate under this floor, so when you walk on it in the middle of winter and you kind of try and zap someone, it won't happen. There's no static.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the lighting. It's all sealed lighting, so if there is a kind of release of gas, it won't. The lighting won't ignite that gas, basically.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll get into the
amazing.
extraction chamber.
Yeah. Chamber. Oh.
So this is we're kind of just doing some renovations right now, but this is our extraction room. This is where we're going to be producing, come mid-November, your live resin, your diamonds and terp sauce, your shatter, things like that. We use a BHO extractor, so we use butane instead of ethanol in this case.
Okay.
And there's huge advantages to using butane. So ethanol we have to heat up to about 80 degrees Celsius to burn off the solvent or vaporize the solvent. Here we really only have to apply like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. So it's super very low heat we use to get rid of the solvent, and that preserves the terpenes and keeps them in pristine condition because terpenes are pretty volatile as well. So that's why the product that comes out of the machine is basically a sellable product, like shatter basically comes out. You can do other post-processing to kind of work it into different weed formats, but basically a sellable product comes out of this machine, and it's a really good product.
That's awesome.
So how does this work? Basically, this is your solvent tank. This is like that first tank that we saw when we were doing the ethanol example. This holds butane. It holds 40 pounds of liquid butane. Same idea, it's jacketed. So there's a cooling fluid that gets pumped around here, and it freezes this tank and really cools the solvent. These are your two material columns right here, so you can pack about 10 pounds into each column. This opens up, and imagine like a bullet. You have this bag of weed that you kind of put in there, close it up, next bullet, put in there, close it up. You then so this is like that second tank that we saw in the ethanol one. So then you basically open these tubes and you flood these chambers with liquid butane, and you let it steep there for a little while, and then you've picked up all the cannabinoids and terpenes that are in that biomass, on that bud basically. We take it a step further, and so it comes at the bottom of here and then goes into this top unit here. This is a filter. And we can pack this with different filter medias to kind of improve the color. So, you see that kind of water clear shatter or more clear resins.
Yeah.
That's usually using a CRC column like this. And that's what we want. We want to remove as many contaminants as possible and makes an awesome product. Then it goes into here, from this tank goes into this tank, and then this soft serve function is down right here. So the best part of the day is being able to serve yourself soft serve cannabis.
That's for sure. That's pretty fun.
Okay, so I had to end the YouTube because it just kept reconnecting.
Okay.
And everybody stopped watching. So we're trying Instagram right now.
Okay, let's try an Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool.
So welcome everybody. So far it's all right. I went and turned my Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, that always helps.
So if you're just joining us, we are with Dr. Brent Guppy, and he is showing us around. How do you say it?
BioScision.
The BioScision. BioScision. I always feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. He is showing us around BioScision, and we're just learning about all like extracting.
Thank you. Like, yeah, the analytical processes and then the...
Natural Earth Canada. Tell Brent I say hello. Dana says hello. Dana is bomb. Our favorite.
Right. So, now we can show you our stick pack, I guess. So we produce those beverage powder stick packs, and this is a new machine that we just got in.
Okay.
So what happens is you put your beverage powder in the top, and then it takes a piece of packaging material, it makes a little stick pack, kind of like a sugar package, or like on the airplane, those kind of long stick pack of sugar. But the only difference is it's not sugar, it's our cannabis drink mix. So the cafe mocha, the chai tea latte, the caramel hot chocolate, and then for the summer drinks, we got a limeade and a lemonade, CBD lemonade. So we're happy to turn this thing on and get her dialed in because this thing can produce 30 stick packs a minute. And right now, without this, we're manually doing it. So it takes a heck of a lot more time.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're very, very pleased to have this in. We're going to get set up on Monday and start launching some beverage places.
That's exciting.
It blows my mind even just to think about somebody who's like, you know what we need, and then invented that machine. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even, you
Need
know?
to stuff these papers quicker.
I can't even fucking upload my iPad properly to my computer. Like, people out here just make these type of machines. So crazy.
This place is so fun. Look at those masks.
Yeah, definitely one of the coolest places.
You know? I want to wear one of those.
I love being able to see like gardens and stuff, but this is like a different level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's show you where we make our vape carts, our 59 vape carts.
That's nice.
So for that, we're going to have to go into the clean room.
Okay.
These are clean rooms. So there's what we'll do is we're going to put on some PPE and things like that to prevent any kind of contamination going in there.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool. These are ISO 4 clean rooms, and in the science world, that means something. Which just means it's one of the cleanest environments that you'll be in because there's no really particulate in the air, there's no bacteria in the air, there's no mold spores or yeast or anything like that. It's completely HEPA filtered air that goes in and out of that room. So it's almost as sterile of an environment that you'll go in.
Let's check it out.
Alrighty, come on in. Okay, we'll show you where it starts and we'll kind of go through the journey in the vape cart.
Yeah.
So this is our pre-packaging room. So all of these vape carts are getting ready to be filled. We can either fill them with some of our products like our live terps, our live terp vape carts like OG Kush, L'Orange, those types, and then we have our botanical terp carts, which is like cow tipper and melon head, and that we use botanical terps to formulate those. So they start off with these.
Did you just say cow head?
Cow tipper.
Cow
It's
tipper.
one of our SKUs. One of our SKUs at Highway 59 is cow tipper.
That's awesome.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what you just said.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
So they start like this, and then on fill day, they go into this room right here. This is the oil filling room.
This is like something I would want almost.
This is awesome.
This lid comes in here. We basically put it into our vacuum oven and warm it up. Get it nice and hot, and then we mix it with our different terpene formulations, either using the 100% live cannabis terps or using a blend of botanical terpenes. We've got 3 botanical terpenes to use and 4 live terps to use right now. So then we take that after it's mixed up into that sea vault. Then usually this machine is set up. There's a giant hopper right here. We fill it with oil, and then it's heated, and there's a line that goes to this injector, and then all of those vape carts that you saw in there, they get lined up, and there's 144 that go on here. You press play, and the machine basically goes from vape cart to vape cart and fills it up. I probably have a video that I could show you to give you a good idea as to what that looks like.
Oh my gosh. You just get like mesmerized and watch it for hours.
Canada Joe says, looks so sanitary. Look at this. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, very sanitary.
Yeah, for sure. It is quite mesmerizing. And then
Yeah.
after 1,000, you get used to it. We fill about 4,000 units whenever we do a fill here.
Okay.
So that's typically a solid day's work.
You get over it quick.
yeah. After about a few thousand units. So like, come on, robot, faster. Next, you put a lid on. So you put a lid on the 510 vape cart, and it goes under this little press here. It's a pneumatic press. The lid goes on, you press the button, and basically it squeezes the lids on there. So that's basically how you get the lid on. And then we put it into a pre-roll tube, just like a standard pre-roll tube, and that's it for that day. Then sample goes to the lab. We test it. We identify the potency, THC, CBD percentages. We order our labels, and then when the labels come in, we get them applied. We apply them onto the pre-roll tube. That's another day. And then a day after that is called excising, where you take the Canada excise stamp or the Manitoba excise stamp and kind of put it over top, and you put it on your packaging, and just to show that you pay tax, basically.
Yeah.
That's kind of the breakdown of those days for making a vape.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Love all the stages, and then it like goes back to,
Then it goes to retail, then it goes to
like a
retail, and then
whole
someone
cycle.
consumes it, exactly.
I love it.
It's the circle of weed.
I love it.
Yeah, my phone does not like it in here.
You'll probably get a better video by putting it together,
Yeah.
editing it all together. It is a little bit of
Yeah. Good thing I'm recording a lot.
Yeah, this is crazy.
see all the clean rooms, so not much going in there now, but this is a pre-packaging room, so this is where we do all of our pre-packaging of our vapes, as well as some labeling. And then here we do some labeling. A lot of labels go on.
This is like a way bigger facility than I thought.
Yeah, totally.
This is our drink mixing room. So all the drink powders are mixed in this room. So you can see there's some work in progresses there, some cafe mocha and caramel hot chocolate.
It's so fun.
That's all made using the nano powder technology.
So
I'll show you
great.
guys that in a second.
Those drinks sound delicious.
This is our powder storage area. So this is where we store all of the different powders to make all of our drink mixes. So things like citric acid, flavorings, multitasking, all that. Yeah.
I had to end the live, so it's like.
So I'll show you how we make the nano powder.
So fun.
This is like straight out of World War II. Each room has its own little, you know?
Yeah.
This is just like a clean storage area where we store all of our clean glass glassware and clean equipment.
It's like things we used to steal from science class.
We can make some really awesome bombs with that.
Yeah, totally.
And this is the nano powder room. So we basically make a oil and water emulsion first. So you take cannabis distillate, you mix it with water, you mix it with emulsifiers, and then you provide a lot of mechanical energy to basically mix it up. It's almost like mixing up a salad dressing kind of thing. Basically, that's how we make our oil and water liquid emulsion. And then we spray dry it down into a powder. But the crazy thing is this thing here, this is the craziest thing in the building. This is a sonicator. So this produces basically sound energy, and it vibrates at 20 kilohertz, which is about the limit of human hearing, and it's at 1200 watts. So imagine a 1200 watt amplifier cranked to like the highest pitched noise you can imagine.
Yikes.
Yeah. So needless to say, this comes in handy.
Okay.
But you can hear it through the wall, you can hear it. It's wild.
Wow.
Why do you need that much energy? And it's to really break up those emulsion bubbles and get them as small as possible. The
Holy.
smaller the better. That's why we measure them on that laser machine. The smaller the better. So you consume it, it hits you in 20, 25, 30 minutes. Smaller, the faster, basically.
That's amazing.
That's insane.
So I got a video of this thing going. So you'll see on the end here the bubbles they're implosion bubbles basically.
Crazy.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So you can just kind of imagine all the emulsions being broken up and be tinier.
Yeah.
Wow.
That looked almost like, those globes that you would touch.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's so great.
we take it a step further and we spray dry it into a powder. So you take that liquid and you turn it into a powder. And that's what this machine does. It's a spray dryer. It's not set up right now, but I've got a video. Basically, the emulsion goes in to the top there. It sprays a very fine mist. It's heated in there, and basically that heat vaporizes the water instantly, and then the maltodextrin just immediately crystallizes around the emulsion droplet. So you turn basically water-soluble cannabis into a powder, and that is what we use to infuse all of our drinks, and that's basically why they work so well.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because everything's taken to like the next level and then a level after that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Never ends. Like, oh, and then this room.
Yeah, you're like, but it's not over yet, just wait.
I remember when honey oil was cool, and I was like,
Yeah,
right.
totally.
and now look what we're doing.
Oh,
That's insane.
Yeah.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be able to do this one day?
I hoped. I
Like, as a
definitely
way?
hoped. That was
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to come back to Canada, because I was like, this is the chance to really turn weed to something pretty
Where
cool.
were you living before?
I was in Austria for a couple of years.
Austria.
Yeah, Vienna. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How come you were there?
Just for my work. So when I was working for that R&D firm that was working for making basically chemotherapy drugs, I was located in Vienna, Austria.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful country, beautiful city. Loved Europe, but wanted to get into the cannabis industry, and one of the G7 nations legalizing cannabis. Opportunities are endless, and we're in the whole industry. We're just in the first inning right now.
Wow.
So it's cool to see the industry evolve and to see all the good cats rise up and all the kind of ponies fall. It's actually kind of a pleasure.
Yeah.
There's even a German word for that called Schadenfreude. Yes.
What is it?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude?
It's taking pleasure in other people's misfortunes.
Oh, my family's German, but I haven't heard that one.
Exactly.
Maybe if I would have stuck with German immersion, I would have known that word.
So that's basically production. We saw extraction, we saw the lab. That's pretty much the entire nickel tour.